What's up, market snipers? This is Jesse. It's about 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday evening. Getting a little bit of a late start on this Bitcoin update. We're gonna be looking at the weekly chart, and had a nice trip with the family in Minnesota the last 4 days, and got to see mom, grandma, and all the Minnesota family. So it was a fun time, but glad to be back in the computer lab. Glad to be looking at the charts and back to the daily grind, right? So here we go. Let's jump right into it. Try to keep this video to about 5 to 8 minutes. We're looking at the weekly chart, and the weekly chart kind of shows us the longer term trend, right? Or the intermediate trend. And so while the weekly chart is still bullish, I was still looking for buy the dip scenarios and try to push those buy the dip scenarios as long as possible, with understanding that the chart is showing signs of weakness, right? Showing signs of weakness, and we have a whole list here, so we're going to jump right into it. So starting with the first item on the list, RSI sell signal was on May 22nd, the week of May 22nd, right? So right there, as you can see, there's a sell signal. The second thing that happened was the first MACD bearish crossover. Now, the sharpshooter candles, which is included into the $29 member subscription, you can go into settings and change it to the MACD bullish or bearish crossover and bullish or bearish pending crossover. So if the week hasn't closed, it would still say pending. But if the week has closed, then it would say MACD bullish or bearish crossover. So I just put on the free MACD indicator down here just for purposes of looking at it while I'm going over this video. But our indicator actually shows the crossovers and the pending crossovers. So that happened on June 5th. And so as you can see right here, crossed over here after the RSI sell signal, and then quickly reversed back up. And that's when we got the third item on the list, which is bearish divergence. So that's also in the sharpshooter RSI. So the RSI sell signal and the RSI divergences, the bearish and the weekly, as you can see, there's the bullish back here in 2022. Now we've got the bearish here in June 2023. And those are included with the sharpshooter package for $79. And you get the sharpshooter RSI indicator. Also, the sharpshooter candles is included with that as well. So that was the third item on the list, and that happened, like I said, on the week of June 26th. And then it's just been slowly, had a couple wicks up, but slowly closing lower and lower. It's still above this upward trend line, still hovering right on the trending dots. And so, we're trying to make it a buy the dip scenario for as long as possible, but it continues to show signs of weakness, like I said. So now we've had a second MACD bearish crossover on the week of, let's go back to number 4, skipped ahead. Number 4, we had a potential sell on the bot alert system that's also included with the sharpshooter RSI. It's for the $79 one as well. So you would receive a bot alert of a potential sell, and it doesn't happen very often because it's on the weekly chart, and that would have been the week before on July 24th, that week, right there basically on that candle. It would have been a potential sell, right? Of course, some more wicks along the way, and then a second MACD bearish crossover the following week. And here we are. RSI, as I'm pointing out here, is breaking down from this longer term upward trend line, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different alerts of showing signs of weakness. Then I did a comparison with silver. Silver seems to be leading the way, not only for Bitcoin, well, potentially for Bitcoin, but also leading the way for gold. Gold has a lot of these same signs, except for there's no bearish divergence, and there's no bearish divergence on silver. But silver has a sell signal, that on number 7, a sell signal question mark, because we don't have one yet. But I had a sell signal weeks ago, possibly 4 to 5 weeks ago. I have to take a look at it. Gold is the first week of a pending sell signal. So gold could be lagging silver and could be ahead of Bitcoin, right? So it's possible that we receive a sell signal on gold and then we receive a sell signal possibly this week or next week. And so what would that look like? If it looked like a similar situation to silver, say that 10 times, it would look like something like this. So possibly price would come down like this, possibly bounce off the 200-week moving average, hit this target, come all the way back up, retest this trend line, and then roll back over and hit target 2, right? So if it does this, it would put in a lower high, which it hasn't put in a lower high yet. It would hit this target, create this lower high, and then come back down and hit at least a second target, possibly a third, fourth, and fifth target. Keep it in mind that at 20,300, there is a 4% gap. Is that big enough for the market to care that much? I don't know, possibly. But as an awareness, there is a 4% gap on the for the CME futures down at 20,300-ish, somewhere around there. So it'll be interesting to see, but all these signs on the weekly chart is showing that, you know, price will come back, most likely come back, retest 200-week moving average, possibly find support, bounce, create a lower high, and then come back down and continue the correction lower, right? Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, and it could make a higher high and create future bearish divergence. So always be aware of all of that. But with all of that said, you know, it had a huge bounce. You know, from wick to wick, you're looking at, you know, about 100% bounce, a little over about 104% bounce from wick to wick, and that is a huge bounce. So it's looking like there's a time for a correction. This would take some time to play out. This is a weekly chart, possibly a couple weeks down, maybe a month rally, and then come all the way back down. Could be a month after that, 2 months, 3 months, who knows? And then you're getting into 2024, and then everyone is aware of the halving in April 2024. So take all that in consideration. If you have any questions, I'm going to be putting this on the newsletter. Feel free to direct message me on Twitter. Just reference the video, or YouTube. I'll put it there as well. There'll be a link to YouTube, and then I'm going to post this in the Discord as well. And in Discord, I'm planning on doing a longer, you know, at least 30-minute video on the NASDAQ, Bitcoin. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, you know, as a glance, and then of course, you know, DXY and some other stocks as well. So if you want more with all the details, that will be tomorrow in the Discord. Thanks again, everybody, for your support. I appreciate it, and I'll get this uploaded tonight and the newsletter sent out. Thank you.